If you're stuck below 10K per month with your online service-based business, this funnel is going to change your life. I'm going to show you a simple two-step process that you can use to hit 10 to 15K per month. Then from there, go from 15 to 50K plus per month. Right? This is exactly what I'm doing with my clients. I'm going to break it all down here. Not only that, I'm going to go into the back end of the Meta Ads Manager to show you how to set up these ad campaigns so that you can do this for yourself. So let's dive into this here. So the first stage of the two-step process is running follower ads. And this will get you from anywhere from where you are now to 10 to 15, maybe 20K per month. Now, the beauty of follower ads is that you are guaranteed to get views when you are running ads to your profile, right? So if you're right now relying on organic and you're just following all the trends of what gurus say, like post content consistently or have better hooks or, change all these settings so that you have higher quality, it's all BS, right? You are doing exactly what everyone else is doing. You are not going to get ahead coming into the next year, okay? How you separate yourself isn't through doing what everyone else is doing. The way that you do it is through manufacturing traction. And the way that you manufacture traction is through paid ads. Because if you think about it, if you're relying on the organic algorithm, you're hoping that Facebook puts your content or Instagram puts your content in front of your ideal client. You're just hoping, right? Whereas with ads, you are guaranteed to get your content in front of a certain amount of people because you're paying for it. So you have to manufacture traction if you want to get ahead. You have to stop treating your business like a hobby and like a business and investing into yourself. So this will get you from the 10 to 15K per month mark. And I'm going to break this down in just a second. But the next stage from here, once you solidify your brand and you build authority and trust, the next stage is switching over to a VSL funnel. And this will take you from 15 to 50K per month plus, right? I haven't got anyone past 60K per month yet in terms of my clients, but I know for a fact that this funnel can hit $1 million months. So this is really where you're having a well-oiled machine where you're attracting, nurturing, and converting your dream clients, getting you to these income levels, okay? But first, you have to validate your offer and your business if you're under 10K, okay? So I'm going to show you this just in a little bit more depth here, and then I'll go into how to do this. So what we're doing with the IG follower ads is we are accelerating your personal brand. Like I said, if you're just relying on organic, you are going to get left behind. You are going to get trampled by your competition who are running ads. It's not about if you run ads or do organic, you do both. Ads just amplify organic, okay? So you have to have correct ads to manufacture traction so that you can speed up the process of getting more followers, getting more views, getting more people in your DMs, getting more calls booked, and getting more sales, okay? So from there, once you start running ads, the goal is to validate messaging and build trust and authority, okay? So what a lot of people do is they go straight to running a VSL funnel because they think that this is the fastest way to get bookings and get people coming through. But the problem with that is if you are going straight to running a VSL, you have to make sure that your messaging is dialed. You should have done very deep market research and had proof that the angles that you're taking in the VSL, and the VSL, for those that don't know, is a video sales letter. This is a short video that shows people, basically pre-sells people on your opportunity and getting them to book the call, right? So the next stage from running the follower ads is validating your messaging angles. You have to make sure that the angles that you're using are aligning with the thought patterns of your ideal client. And this is a process that I use called neuromarketing. And I use this with all of my clients, and it's how we're able to get the results that we have. It is through understanding how your ideal client thinks, because if you can align your marketing message with the thinking patterns of your ideal client, they can't help but pay attention. That is how you cut through the noise. And then if you fuel those messaging angles with ads, that is when you start to have consistency and predictability. But you have to test different ads, and you do this through running your Facebook ads or your Instagram ads with different messaging angles to figure out which one resonates with the market the most. Because it's not what you want to do or what you think is the best angle, it's what the market thinks is the best angle. And it might be completely different to what you think it is, right? So you validate your messaging through the Instagram ads. And we do that because it is so easy to get ads up and running quickly, to test. And yeah, so that's the next stage. And then not only that, with your as you're running profile ads, you'll be able to build authority and trust. Okay, so I'll go into this in just a second. From there, you'll have people messaging you, or you'll be out there messaging people, and you'll get proof of your marketing message angle. And the way that you know you have proof with your messaging angle is through sales, right? If you're making sales and you're earning money consistently, that's then proof of concept, right? It's showing that this messaging angle works. If you have all the data to track back where that person came from with the ads, then you can say, okay, this angle worked best. Let's use that for the VSL. So you're not just guessing with the VSL, putting this big elaborate marketing funnel together and it not even hitting and just flopping, right? It just wastes so much time and money. So you test with Instagram ads. Then from there, once you have the proof of messaging, like I said, you put this into a belief shifting VSL. So a VSL is going to pre-sell people on who you are, who you help, and how you help them. Now there's much more depth within that, which I'll go into in just a second. But now you have a proven angle to take with your marketing. Then from there, when you start running ads straight to the VSL, you'll automate bookings and nurture with a cold audience. Okay, so you want to, if you're wanting to scale and get to big boy numbers, you have to learn how to close cold audiences, right? Cold traffic. Because if you're just relying on organic referrals, content, you're capped. Whereas ads are exponential. You put more money in, more that ad goes in front of more people, right? So this is how you scale, is learning how to sell to a cold audience. And there's certain systems and processes that have to be put in place in order for you to do that effectively. So I'm going to break this down here. What I want to do is I want to go into the Meta Ads Manager to show you how this works. Before I do, I'm going to show you just a brief overview of the funnel itself. So what this looks like is first having a piece of content or an ad. Now, I would recommend testing at least 10 to 15 different ads with different messaging, talking to different people in their stages of awareness. Are they aware of the program or the product, or are they aware of just the pains that they have? Are they aware of other solutions out there that solve that pain? Whatever it is, right? You want to come at all these different angles. And then when you're putting your content together, you want to have a mix of videos and also static images in the actual ad set. And I'll go into what that means in just a second. But a key tip, and what I found with my clients, is that the highest performing ads are always the ones that don't look like ads. So you don't need to have video editors or fancy motion graphics. I have found the best ads that work are the ones that look native to Instagram. So using just normal Instagram style text, captions, front-facing camera, very casual, right? I didn't run this one as an ad. I don't want to use my clients' ads as an example. This was just a piece of content that I just took from my profile to show you how this works. So having an organic piece of content, and then from here, what you're wanting to do is you're just wanting to sell the next step. You're wanting to create enough curiosity and intrigue and buy-in to get someone to click on your profile. That is all we're doing here. And that's the beauty of running follower ads, is that it's such a low commitment. You don't have to tell people to sign up to book a call, right? So you're running an ad, it's creating this intrigue, this curiosity. It then pushes people to your page. And then this is basically like your landing page for this type of funnel, right? So you've got a landing page with the VSL funnel. This is your landing page. Now, my belief is that people will only follow if they feel like they're missing out on something if they don't. So your content has to be set up to, again, speak the language of your ideal client, shift their beliefs, show them how the problems that they're solving aren't the right problems to solve, and that your unique method or approach is the only way to solve the real problem. Right? And I won't go into that now. If you guys want, I can put a messaging video together to show you how to actually dial in your messaging. But that is really, really important, because your messaging will determine the type of people that you bring through. So when they land on your page, if you're adding value, shifting their beliefs, building a relationship with them, then they're going to want to follow, especially if they feel like they're going to miss out on something if they don't, right? So that's what we're doing. This is your new landing page. Then from there, as you have followers starting to flow in, you'll be in the DMs messaging people. You'll be understanding their pains, their desires, what stopped them from getting to their desires, what they've tried in the past. And then when enough emotion has been invoked and it makes sense, you offer a call. And from there, you hop on the call and you use your sales skills to be able to pitch and close them. And that is how you start to collect cash and get proof of messaging, right? You start to get sales. So this is the first phase. This is building out Instagram follower ads. And the beauty of this is that you get to increase your, you get to build out your brand, right? And get more followers. I'll show you this. Actually, I'll show you this in just a second after I show you how to put the ads together in the ads manager. So if you haven't already, come over to adsmanager.facebook.com. Go through the process of setting up your whole account. There'll probably be YouTube videos on there to help you with this. Then once you do, come into campaigns here, and this is going to be the dashboard for where your ad campaigns are. Now, how campaigns are structured is the campaign is basically like the objective of the whole campaign, essentially, right? So if I click on this, click create, and these are all the different objectives. So if we're going straight to a VSL, we would use leads because this is going to a website, right? But because we are just wanting to drive traffic to your profile, we're going to do traffic. As you can see here, Instagram profile visits. Click continue, and then always go to manual traffic campaigns. Don't use the recommended settings from Meta because they're never effective. So click next, manual traffic, perfect. Now, what I was mentioning was with campaigns, there is a campaign, and then you can look at it like folders, right? Within that folder, there is an ad set. And an ad set could be different messaging angles. It could be different personas that you're speaking to. It could be different locations that you're targeting, whatever it is, right? But then within each of those ad set are ads. And it's kind of like a 3 multi-layered stack, right? So you've got the campaign, the ad set, and the ad. So come back up to campaign here and just name this whatever you want. Doesn't really matter at this point. Follower, ads, and then maybe like the date, like this. Do the same thing for the ad set. Yep. And then we've got the ads here. So come back to the campaign. You want to set this as an ad set budget. So just leave this on here and then come down. That should be all good to go. And now we'll come into the ad set. Now, we want to change the conversion location to Instagram or Facebook, not messages, unless you want to test that. But I would just do Instagram or Facebook. Have your Instagram and Facebook accounts connected. And what I found with my clients is that most of their audience is a younger demographic, not young, but like, 18 to 40. And a lot of the audiences aren't on Facebook. So I find it counterproductive to put money on Facebook. So what I do, of course, if your audience is an older demographic and they're on Facebook, then put your ads on Facebook as well. But because mine aren't and most of my clients aren't, what you want to do is come down to the bottom here, go edit on Advantage Plus placements, manual placements, and then turn off Facebook like that. Everything will automatically save. So if you go through all of this and then you exit out of it, it'll all automatically save. And then, okay, so we've done that. Now we're going into budget and schedule, okay? So with your daily budget, you need to look at this as a business owner. You are putting in money in to get multiple times the money that you've put in out, right? You're wanting to put money in, put $1 in and get $3, $4, $5 out. So you have to look at this in that lens. Now, what I recommend for my clients is with this, when you're starting to test, don't do any less than $50 to $100 a day. And that's in AUD. Don't do any less than $50 to $100 a day. And the reason why I say that is because you are exchanging this money for a certain amount of reach, right? And that reach, you'll be able to get that reach. I'll put it together this way, right? So let's say that you're doing $20 a day. There's one person doing $20 a day and there's one person doing $100 a day. That person who is doing $20 a day would take 5 days to spend $100, whereas the other person would take 1 day to spend $100, right? So that first person would get the amount of data that $100 would give them in spend in 5 days, whereas the person spending $100 a day would get that data back in 1 day. So it allows you to make decisions so much quicker. And the Facebook algorithms also reward you spending more money, right? So it'll bounce around, it'll find people, but you'll be able to get the data back quicker. And you're a business owner, right? Speed is so important. So why would you not spend more money to be able to see what messaging angles are working, what needs to shift, where are the bottlenecks, and adjust from there? And I mean, like, it's a money printing machine once you do this well, right? So don't hold back. Don't look at this as a cost. It is an investment. Do at least $50 to $100 a day. All right, now from there, you've got the locations. All of my clients are in Australia at the moment, but if you service people overseas, just click here, go edit, and then add locations. Let's say you want to do United States. always do country and region. Don't do city or anything like that unless you have like a local service-based business, like a car wash or something like that. UK. All right, let's just do UK. Yeah. So you can set it up like that for your location. I'm just going to leave it as Australia. All right. Now, down here is the Advantage Plus audience. So this is where Facebook has basically like a omnipotent type of algorithm. It's like a godlike algorithm. It has so much data on absolutely everyone. I was just on a website just before about looking for water filters for just drinking water. And I'm just being spammed with ads. And I'm sure you see this as well. Like you look at something and then you're just getting spammed with ads of that same thing, right? So it's a really good algorithm. And the only way that you're going to stand out with these ads is if you're speaking the language of your ideal client, right? That's how you cut through the noise of the ads. So one of two things that you could do here. If you don't have past clients, or you don't have a list of phone numbers, names, emails of like ideal clients that you're wanting to reach, just leave this the same. I have found that this works well with follower ads. It is the Advantage Plus audience. It's just going to use all of the information to find the person that you're looking for based off the creative. So the creative is the actual ad itself. And this is why the messaging is really important, because Facebook will analyze everything within the ad, everything that you say, the visuals of it, what your page looks like it dissects everything, and it'll find people that it'll calculate and try and find people who it feels will resonate with what you're talking about. So this is why the messaging has to be really important, really specific. All right, so if you don't have any past clients, just use this, just leave this the same. Don't add any audience suggestions, just let Facebook figure it out itself. If you do have a list of past clients, what you want to do, and I found this works really well with Facebook, with follower ads, is set up a lookalike audience. Now, I'm not going to go into this completely, but I'll just show you how to get there. So you just click switch to original audience, and then come down here, and then click here and go create new, and then create new lookalike audience. Then go source, custom audience, and you'll be able to upload your list and go through that process there. Now, the reason why this works well for follower ads is because Facebook has something called a meta pixel, right? And a pixel is a piece of code that you put on your website to send information from the website back to Meta. And because you have more control over what information you send back, you can send back only the information that you feel will give Meta the best chance of like finding higher quality people, right? So you might only send data back for people who have booked a call or for people who have purchased. But because we are running follower ads, and this is all just within Instagram itself, no one's going to any external websites, there isn't a pixel associated with follower ads. So you can get a pretty varied, sporadic result with the type of followers that come through, especially if your messaging isn't dialed in, which is why having a lookalike audience can be really helpful and does work well with what I've seen. But if you don't, Facebook will still try and figure out who to put the ad in front of by itself anyway, so both are effective. So yeah, if you have past clients, just use this. If not, then just leave it as a broad Advantage Plus audience. Now we've edited the placements. All right, perfect. So now from here, what you want to do is actually come into the ads itself. So this is where the ads are. How I set this up is you go into here, and I will just use the hook of like whatever the video is, and then call it either a video or a static. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you're wanting to test either 10 to 15 different ads to figure out like which messaging angle works best. And you want to test both static and video ads. You want to test both, all right? So I'll show you how to do this here in one ad set. So just have video and static in one ad set. Here is where you can have the ad creative. So you just want to click this. Let's just use an image for an example of this. So I'll just use this one. Next. And then with the text, have it like attention ICP. So attention corporate professionals, attention e-com founders, attention men under 30, like whatever it is, whoever your ICP is. And then say something like tired of XYZ problem. If so, give me a follow and go through my content where I show you how to XYZ desired outcome. Just something simple like that. Most people don't read this. They're more intrigued by the actual creative itself. So just click done. And then from there, you'll be able to see what the ad looks like. If I can open this here, you'll be able to see what it looks like. Just make sure the sizing is all right. It all looks good. And then when you're setting out or like creating more ads, just do quick duplicate here. But before I do that, what you want to do is you want to just turn off the music. I don't know why Facebook puts music on. It usually clicks this on and puts this goofy ass music behind the ad itself. So just turn that off, and then go here, quick duplicate, and then you'll be able to do this here. So this could be like a, the last one was a static. So let's just do static video. Just pretend that this is a video, static. And you've got the hook, or like the theme of the static and the hook of the video at the start, just so you know which one's which. And then you can just go here, clear all, and it'll keep the primary text, and you can just add like the static or the video right there like that, and just do that 10 to 15 times. I found that 10 to 15 ad creatives work well with testing. If you've got a lower budget for whatever reason, maybe do less, maybe do like 8 to 10, just because you don't want to spread it too thin. Just follow that guideline. But 50 to $100 a day is the sweet spot for testing. All right, so from there, guys, then you basically have everything set up. You would have the the ads set up, and then from there you just click publish, and the ball will start to roll. You'll see that you'll start to get some followers coming through pretty quickly, and you'll be able to use your judgment to see if they're the right type of client, right type of lead or not, and just refine and adjust from there. But that is how you set up Instagram follower ads. Look at how such a high leverage tool. Instead of just posting so much content every day, just hoping that the next one's going to hit, you can just set up these ads and just have Facebook find those type of people for you to help with shortcutting the process. It's just such a valuable tool. So that's the first stage, right? That's the Instagram follower ad funnel. So the benefits of this is that you can build trust and authority with ICP audiences, right? With your ideal client profile. Not only that, you're building a relationship with them. Because let's say, for example, you're just running an ad that goes straight through to a landing page. It's very sterile. It's very cold, and there's not much trust involved. There's a lot of sales resistance. But imagine if you have an ad and it's pushing people through to your Instagram page where you have a photo of your dog, your mom, you're shifting beliefs, you're having fun, you're out for dinner, all these things that just add so much more depth to you to help with building that trust. That is the beauty of follower ads. And then you're also having conversations with them in the DMs before they even move ahead, or before they book a call, right? So there's a lot of trust as they hop onto the call. Not only that, you can test fast. Business is all about speed, so you can find winning angles quickly to use in your VSL and in other sales assets. And it's also a low commitment next step. So instead of asking someone to spend their time, energy on a call, people say that strategy calls are free. They're not. They cost you time and energy. Instead, so that's a big step, right? Not many people are going to do that if they don't have the trust. So instead, you can send people to your page, okay? So that is the beauty of follower ads. Just some examples here. This is a client that I ran some ads for. He spent $1,800, got 70,000 reach, 1K followers at $1.86 per follower, right? He went from 161 followers, which is not very high credibility, right? You hop on a page for someone who's got 161 followers. There's not that much trust there. But within 3-4 weeks, we got him to 1,300 followers. So that's a great way to you just amplify your personal brand. And here's another one, 60,000 in reach and then 700 followers, $2.22 per follower. Hey Mason, signed another client this morning, 9.5K in sales this week. How crazy is that? What a tool. Closed today, he followed and booked in yesterday, 3.5K. Insane. This is how you turn your business, your the service that you provide, into a business and not just a hobby. So once you check that off and you have follower ads dialed in, you've got messaging dialed in, then you can go over to running a VSL funnel. So this is how a VSL funnel looks. So it's very, the front end will be very similar. You'll have an ad, but it'll be ads with the new messaging angle, with whatever your audience resonated with from the follower ads. And then from there, you're going to be sending people through to a landing page. Now, a landing page is different to a website, because a website is where people get information just surfing it and looking for things in general, right? Whereas a landing page only gives people the information needed to help them take the next step. So this is how a landing page is laid out, where you have a headline that talks either to away from a pain or towards a desire, plus it's time bound. And then you'll have the VSL itself. So a good structured VSL, I can go into a little bit of messaging, but what you want to do is you want to have an environmental reason that causes the pains that your target market is currently experiencing. And you want to show them how you understand their pains and that highlighting to them that they're actually solving the wrong problems. You want to have like the lens of, that's actually not the real problem. This is the real problem. And the real problem is something deeper, right? It's like the root cause problem that they're not actually focused on. And then from there, you're wanting to, because you've introduced this new problem, you can then introduce your unique mechanism as the new solution. And then throughout the video, you show how this new solution, your unique method or way, can help them get the desired outcomes that they want, right? So that is the structure of a good VSL. And then from there, they're like super incentivized to want to book because they're like, holy heck, this person has just showed me how I'm not even solving the right problem. There's a deeper problem that he's introduced that I need to solve. And the only way that I solve it is through his method. And they believe you and there's trust built because you introduced the problem to them, right? So that is the psychology of a good VSL. And I've dropped some source there. But if you want me to go deeper into how to write out a VSL or just like the flow or the structure, I can do that in a separate video. Just comment below. Now, you want to test and make sure that your VSL is landing well, even though you've got the messaging right. The way that you do that is through uploading your VSL to a platform called Wistia, where you can see the drop-off rate and the analytics of where people are watching and how long they're watching for. So when I first started writing VSLs, they looked like this, right? People would just drop off straight away. The retention rate was so bad, and then it would just drop off. Now, I have VSLs that do this, right? And they're slowly dropping off. And the beauty of this is that where they're dropping off is where they're booking calls, right? They might be dropping off there. And it's because there's a part in that VSL where it's like incentivizing them to book a call. All right. And then underneath the VSL itself, have an application. So an application to pre-qualify people and make sure that there's no tire kickers coming through and booking calls. You can have financial qualifiers in there. But have the application directly underneath. Some people have like a button to then take them to a next page with an application. I look at it through the lens of like how Apple designs things. They are just minimal and they want to make the user experience as seamless as possible. So I want to remove the amount of resistance and drop off potential by having the application just directly underneath that they can go through. Not only that, within the application, what you can do on a platform like Typeform, or there's some other platforms that I use as well, is you can have the calendar booking link as the last question in the application so that they're not being redirected. And for them to finish the application, they have to book. And this has like increased our booking rate by like 20, 30%. So this is such an easy way to increase bookings by having it all in one spot. Think about it. If you're a cold audience, you don't have trust with this person, the process has to be as seamless as possible. And that is a way that you can do this. And then from there, after you speak to their, after they book the call, they'll be sent to a thank you page. Now, a thank you page is where the sale is made, essentially, right? So how I do this is I say, wait, your call isn't fully confirmed yet. And then there is a video here that takes them through the roadmap of the program or builds trust or shifts beliefs again, just to solidify what they've seen in the VSL, but kind of just taking them further along the journey. And with this headline up here, I tell them that they need to take the next step to secure the call. Of course, it's secured, it's on the back end, but we want them to watch more material because people won't show up to the call if there isn't enough trust built or they don't have questions to their answers to their questions. So you can do that on the thank you page here with this roadmap video. But then underneath, what you can have is what's called like breakout videos or objection handling videos, because on the end of sales calls, you always have, or not always, but you often have objections. And these are like pieces of resistance that stop people from moving forward. So you can look at what these objections are, whether it's how long do things take, what's the worst client result you've got, do I need to buy any software, whatever it is, whatever common things you see, you can then take those objections, turn them into questions, and create like a quick 30-second video that handles those before the call. That way then they have more questions answered. And then from there, after they've consumed all of this material, they then reply watched to the automated email that gets sent through to their email, right? And I've seen that when clients reply this, the close rate dramatically increases, right? So what we're wanting to do here, guys, is let's say that this is the sales process. Here's the start. Here is the close, right? Here's where the sale is made. What we want to do is have 80% of the sale done through marketing, right? And only the 20%, maybe less, like 10 to 20%, 80 to 90% marketing done through the sales on the back end. The sales should really be like an onboarding call, but you need to have people watching and being nurtured before that call. And this is how you do that. Then you can also have emails going out before the call as well, not just reminder emails, but value-based emails that shift beliefs, that show that your method works, that you're different to others, as well as a Gamma document. So a Gamma docs are incredible because you can just basically prompt the whole thing to write this like presentation that's very intuitive, and it is a written format of basically everything on this page and this page here to give them the information. Because not everyone wants to watch videos, they might want to read, right? So then they are primed and ready, and from there you can then have the sales call and they close. So that is the two-step process, and the VSL funnel can create results like this. Look at this, 1,078 leads at $5.40 a lead, 171 booked calls through a VSL funnel, no contact in between. Imagine just having 171 calls just booking into your calendar. And this was over like a 3-month period, right? So this is the power of leveraging the right marketing systems, but you have to set up the foundations first. Here's another one. We only launched this like a couple weeks ago. 43 booked calls, all financially qualified, by the way, too. Like they go through the application and say they have a certain amount of money, right? So 43 booked calls, $18 a schedule, AUD, and $780 spent, right? This then created 15.1K in 13 days. 19x ROAS, return on ad spend. So 19 times the amount of money that we made in 13 days. So we have this, basically we've got a bank where we're just putting in $1 and getting 19 out, right? Like how many $1 would you find if you could get 19 out? And this is why I'm so heavy on like putting money behind ads, because if you can turn $1 into 2, you've got a money printing machine. Imagine turning $1 into 19, right? So that is the beauty of ads, guys. If you're coming into the next year and you're still going organic, you're trying to go viral, you're trying to follow trends, it is not going to work. You're going to get trampled on by your competitors who are running ads. And like I said, it's not about content or ads, it's content and ads. Ads just amplify content, right? So that is the two-phase process. It is follow ads to build credibility, build a really solid foundation, get some sales through the door, validate your messaging, then go across to the VSL funnel with the messaging that you found, shift beliefs, nurture people, have the calls. And then once you have the calls, like you can then implement a salesperson to hop on the calls for you. You remove yourself from the business and you'll just focus on delivering the value on the back end, which is probably what you got into coaching or providing your service for in the first place. This is what I've done with some clients, implementing closers, building all of this out for them. If you want to learn how to do this, just DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to answer any questions, or we can hop on a call. I have an offer or like a part of my service where I do all of this for people, like for business owners. Usually they're already at the 15 to 20K per month mark, and I just implement all of the rest and do all the marketing and everything like that. But if you're wanting to learn how to do this yourself, which I believe every business owner needs to know how to market and sell, then again, DM me. We can open up that conversation and we can chat more. My Instagram will be in the description. And yeah, if you like this, just follow, subscribe, whatever it is. Follow my Instagram, comment, like, share. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks, guys.